Hello, and welcome back to Ask Dr. B. So this is actually a PS to the last video that I did on being fearless. That question that was sent in by Jill, it's just such a great question for us to ponder because I think that fear often constricts our worlds, our lives, and it's something to try to be mindful of and to push back on and to take those risks and to be like that toddler and just go out there and live life big. So the reason that I wanted to do this PS is because I didn't share something in the latter part of that video that I think is really important when it comes to helping our children be fearless, holding on to that fearlessness. And that was the second part of Jill's question. And one thing that I didn't mention that is really important, almost more important than anything else, is modeling for our children. You know, that old adage that at least I grew up with it. People would say, do as I say, not as I do. I think we all know that doesn't really work, and that children are much more likely to do what they see. And really, really true when it comes to this issue. So what I mean by that is if a child has a parent, and they learn also from their siblings, of course, it's not all on parents. I used to tell parents that I would work with in my clinical practice, you don't get to claim complete responsibility for all the wonderful, amazing accomplishments and gifts that your children have and things that they do. Similarly, you're not to blame for the challenges, the struggles, the pain that they go through. So we parents have a lot of impact, but not complete influence or complete control. So if a child has people around them, parents and others, who are fearless and they live life big, they take appropriate risks. Again, you don't want to convey to children that they shouldn't be afraid of some things because they should be afraid. And you don't want recklessness or recklessness and fearlessness are not the same thing. So if you have, though, people around them that are bold, are willing to take risks, that is what they see, that is what they absorb, that is what they learn. You can really emphasize that and underscore the importance and the value by using your words with the actions. So, for example, explaining to your child that something that you're doing or something that you're trying is new for you, but you really want to try it. Something that might be a little scary for you and make you a little uneasy, but you believe that it's worth doing, and then you do it and you explain to them how, yeah, it was a little scary, but I'm really glad I did that. So putting the words to what you're doing or what you've done so that they understand that it wasn't that, their parent is sort of, not afraid of anything, tries everything, does anything, because that can actually backfire, because then the child may think, well, that's how my mom, dad, that's how my sibling is, grandparents, they're fearless. They don't feel afraid. And that's why they can do those things, but I can't do those things. And that's not the case. It's, again, being brave doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you may be afraid, but you do it anyway. So putting your words to the action that you're trying to help the child understand the experience that you have, both in being worried or fearful or nervous, but doing it anyway. So the actions are important. People say my actions speak louder than words. I would say yes, and yes, actions are really important. Words are also very important. So in that other video, and I'd encourage you to watch it if you haven't, I talked about, helping your children understand why it's worthwhile to take risks, to take a chance, to give it a shot, to go for it. explain all those things about how you're there to support them. All of that is really important, that part of your role to help them. It's also really important to model. It's also important to point out other people and their achievements, accomplishments. And again, kids have a tendency to think, well, they did it. They're not afraid. It wasn't a problem for them. It wasn't a big deal for them, but it would be for me. So again, those words, in addition to those deeds, are all helpful in raising these little amazing creatures to be capable, competent, caring, thoughtful, and at times fearless contributors to their own lives and the lives of so many others that they will touch. So again, Jill, thank you. Obviously, that question kept me thinking. I hope it keeps all of you thinking. And please send in more questions, and I look forward to sharing more thoughts about well-being. Take care.